So imagine you have a headache, but as a fit, healthy, young guy, you think, oh, I'm sure it's nothing. 1 week later, it's still there. So you decide, you know what, I think I'll try some paracetamol. Another week goes by, you've still got this headache. So what do? You add some ibuprofen. Another week goes by and you've still got this headache. And you're beginning to wonder now, oh, what's going on here? Then you go and see the GP. And the GP, what does he do? Well, you guys know what you normally do. It changes the paracetamol to cocodamol, changes the ibuprofen to naproxen, and say, off you go. I'm sure it's nothing. You're only 28 or 35 or something. And 2 weeks later, lo and behold, you've still got this headache. So what do you do next? You go back to the GP. And that is the point when he thinks, right, this has been going on for about 8 weeks now, this pounding headache. All right, that is the point when he's going to refer you to what we call the ogbontarigi. Now, I don't want anybody breaking teeth at home, so don't try saying it, okay? But here again, you get sent to the ogbontarigi. Now, some of you would call that person a specialist or even a consultant. And that is where I found myself after I had done the CSA 3 times. Okay, on my third, so now I had my 4th attempt hanging over me. And as you all know, the 4th attempt is the last attempt. After that, they bounce you. And all the years you've spent doing GP training goes to waste. All those years you've sacrificed, used up your family time and all the other things you could have been doing with your life, you know, give up your locums and everything. It's just flushed down the drain and you're back in A&E or medicine or wherever you came from before you became a GP trainee. So you can, some of you I'm sure can relate with how it feels, like this feeling of impending doom. You feel like the world is about to end, you are going around, it feels like this sword of Damocles is hanging over your head. So back to the ogbontarigi. During my 3rd CSA attempt, okay, I looked up at one of the stations and who would I see? I saw a man coming in with the examiner and the role player. And my thought was, I know that chap. I couldn't, at that point, you know, in the heat of the moment, I couldn't quite picture where I knew him from, but I knew that chap. I've seen that face somewhere. I guess 2 things threw me, I guess. First, he was much taller than his videos, okay? And second, he was in a suit. Now, by now, you guys know who I'm talking about. It was Matt Smith. It was not until later, you know, after the CSA, after that particular attempt had passed, that I suddenly recollected where I knew him from. And I thought, yeah, that's Matt Smith. That's the guy on YouTube. What was he doing in the CSA? Is he a CSA examiner? These are the things I was asking myself, but of course I pushed that to one side because at that point I never had any idea I was going to need to do a 4th CSA. But of course, when the results of the 3rd one came out, yours truly had failed again. Unfortunately, I think this time by, was it 2 or 3 marks? Very painful. And I was so despondent, I thought, you know what, I can't do this anymore. And I gave up on GP training, dropped out of the program, and just left. And went back to the hospital. I stayed out for about a year before I allowed my family, you know, wife, mom, everybody to prevail on me to go back into the training and just give it one last shot. Okay, so by that time, of course, I was thinking, now I need an ogbontarigi. This matter is no longer child's play, you know, last attempt. Okay, I need a specialist. And that's when I thought, you know, I saw Matt Smith at the CSA. That must be the guy I need. So I started researching and I finally found out that he actually does run a course. I emailed him my grades for the 3 CSA attempts. He could see how my data gathering and interpersonal skills scores had been going up steadily, over the 3 attempts, but my clinical management score had more or less remained the same. It was about 18, 19, thereabouts. He replied, he said, "Don't worry, this is exactly the kind of thing that we know how to deal with." And I thought, okay. And one of the things that drew me to him was, by this time I'd attended so many courses. I had gone to Nigel Giam twice. I had even been to one by the RCGP. I'd been to one by Roger Nebo in conjunction with the RCGP. That was one in Birmingham. Very expensive course. I'd attended multiple courses attended by the local deanery, the training program. I'd just been everywhere. If there was a CSA course, I ran to it. Okay. But by now, I was even a bit confused because, as you guys will know, you get all sorts of conflicting things from a lot of these courses. Then you get those ones telling you ICE is in the beginning, ICE is in the middle, ICE is after, just before clinical management. You just get all sorts. And at this point, you've done it 3 times, you have 1 attempt left, you're desperate. So finally, I went to Ripon, okay, to attend the Matt Smith CSA course, okay. As soon as I got there, I just started ranting and venting and telling him all my frustrations. I've done this, I've done that, I've attended this course, that course. He said, "Calm down, Chief, calm down. You've come to the right place, okay?" Okay, I said, okay, all right, no problem. Not too long later, I just started ranting again. This is all rubbish. I was like, I don't know what else to do. I've done everything. I've bought every book. I've been to every course. I was like, help me, Matt Smith, help me. And then him and his partner who run the course together, Dr. Farid, sat me down and said, "Look, you've come to the right place, mate." And at that point, they said something that has stuck with me ever since. He said, "Here, nobody fails the CSA. What we talk about is how many marks above 90 you're going to get." I was like, "Oh, okay. Above 90. Right. Okay." That shut me up. And I just sat down and paid attention to everything they had to say. And OMG. Alright, did I learn something? It was like that course was specially made for international medical graduates. He didn't say it, but he said to me that, they believe anybody can pass. They don't differentiate between international medical graduates and local graduates. And there was quite a good mix of both, on the course anyway. But I feel, that course needs to be replicated all over the country. Any deanery, any training program that has an international medical graduate needs to go and learn from Matt Smith. And this is one of my grudges against the Royal College of General Practitioners. Okay? Their approach is too remedial. What we need is prophylaxis. I also learned that, over the time that Matt had been there as training program director, all the other trainers there had bought into what he's doing. They had expanded their trainees from just about 25 to 75, and they have one of the highest pass rates in the country. He told me about how they make their own trainees stay on 15 minutes until they pass the CSA, and all the other things I put in that 15-minute rule video. I found out that they had this 12-week program that they do for their own trainees, and over 12 weeks they take them through every aspect of the CSA. They break it down to tiny little bits, put it back together, look at it inside out. So it's impossible to fail if you are under such tutelage. Okay, and what they had done for the course was that they condensed the 12-week course into 2 days. A lot of the things I still practice up till date, I learned from there, you know, all the way from the you know, what to do with your educational supervisor, how to tackle specific cases, genetics, ENTI, you know, chronic diseases, a lot of things that I use even up till now. And a lot of the things, frankly, that I will use in a lot of these videos are still things that I learned from Matt Smith. This is one of the places where I think the Royal College of General Practitioners is failing international medical graduates. They're really letting us down. We need prophylaxis, not remedy. Okay, this kind of course that this man does and the program that he has, that he does for his own trainees over 12 weeks, I think it should be replicated, you know, in all deaneries and training programs all over the country. If anybody has an international medical graduate, they should be ready to understudy what Matt Smith is doing. He has one of the highest pass rates in the country. Nobody fails there. So guys, I have to say, don't wait. Don't wait till you have problems, okay? If you must attend a course for the CSA, please, I will advise you, speak to Matt Smith. I think his course is the Ogbontarigi of all CSA courses.